TT, tell us about the moment when you realized that your weight could be the thing that could derail your career as an owner operator, as a truck driver.
Great. Good question. And it's funny because as a truck driver, you know, we have to get a medical card, right? And I had actually just gotten my medical card back in July. Um, but in September, I'm driving down the highway in a truck, not my personal vehicle. I am in a truck. Um, and my vision gets blurred.
Mm.
And it got so blurred. And I was out in Texas. I was out in Dallas, Texas. I never forget. I was out in Dallas, Texas, which is a little outside of where I usually drive as a trucker. But I decided to take a load out there, just make a little extra money.
Yeah.
And in Dallas, Texas, that's one of the states that they have a lot of crisscross highways and
Those
interchanges.
flyovers, yes.
Yes, and you have to be very careful. So I have my GPS up, in the windshield of my truck, and now I can't even read the GPS because my vision is blurred. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't read my GPS. And I'm looking at the highway signs, and it's like, okay, well, since the GPS is blurred, let me turn up the volume on this GPS unit so I can hear and kind of look at the signs on the highway. And that's what I had to do. I had to do that. And when I got back to Atlanta on a prayer, I got back to Atlanta. The first thing I did was go to the hospital because I knew something had to be wrong. Didn't know what it was. Had the slightest idea what it was, but I knew something had to be wrong.
TT. So for you, this weight loss and losing this weight was not just a decision that had to be made for you to continue your career as a truck driver, but also for your life. Your life was at stake. I can't imagine driving down the road in an 18-wheeler, and I know about those flyovers in Dallas. But you are pulling a load that, wow. How many pounds can you carry at one time, TT?
We carry up to 45,000 pounds. And that's just the weight of the freight. Right along with the tractor and the trailer, you can carry up to 80,000 pounds.
80,000 pounds. And because of your health, as a type 2 diabetic, TT?
Right, I'm type 2, but I didn't know I was type 2 at that time. I had, at that time, Kendra K, I had never been sick.
Wow. So you go to the hospital, and welcome in to those who are joining us. This is Coffee and a Conversation with TT Trucker. TT is with us. He is an over-the-road truck driver, and y'all, he has lost a tremendous amount of weight. And TT is telling about the moment when he realized that his health and his career was at stake. So you go to the hospital and you find out what, TT?
I get to the hospital, and at first the nurse was kind of nonchalant, I was like, well, my vision is kind of blurred. And she asked, well, why didn't you go make an appointment for an eye doctor? Why don't you come to the emergency room? And I'm like, well, I'm also urinating a lot. I'm continuously urinating. And I just feel something is wrong, but I don't know what it is. And so she says, okay. But the nurse kind of downplayed it. But they took blood work and all those things. And the next thing I know, maybe 30 minutes later, they come in the room, doctors, nurses, and I mean, it was crew. They had a crew.
Yeah.
And they began to put me on IVs and heart monitors and all of this. And I said, wait, look, y'all act like I've died. I just come in here for my vision. And the doctor says to me, Mr. Carter, you are dying. You are walking around here having a stroke.
My Lord. My Lord.
And I was like, oh, which they call a walking stroke is what I was in the middle of.
TeeTee. We've got Gemini Diva at 79. Trina says that she, as a type 2 diabetic, she knows about that blurriness and that it is scary. TeeTee, well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. We're glad that you heeded the instructions of health professionals. And as we have this very serious, this very real conversation about TeeTee Trucker and his life as a truck driver, and more importantly, his weight loss journey, we want you to know and be reminded that GLP-1s, y'all, that's real prescription medication for weight loss. So please consult with your medical provider and consult with your medical team and make sure that it's best for you. We're just talking about TeeTee's journey and his weight loss journey today. But if you are thinking about considering the use of GLP-1s for medical weight loss, please, the best conversation is to start with your doctor. So TeeTee, let's move into that. What did your doctor do and when? Because as they said, you were sitting there in the midst of a stroke.
Correct. I wound up staying in the hospital for about, I want to say 3 days. Starting out with my A1C at 13.1.
Whoa.
My blood sugar level, my glucose level at that point was 779 was my glucose level. And they said, well, they couldn't let me go home with my sugar being that high. So they had to get my sugar down, at least down to about 500. When they got me down to 500, they finally released me from the hospital and told me to, find a primary care doctor. At that point, again, I did not have a primary care doctor. I have never been in the hospital for anything ever in my life. I didn't even catch COVID. So, I've never taken medicine before. So that was the first time that now I have to go see a doctor, because all I've ever done through my life was go get a physical, and the physical was only for a DOT medical card so that I can drive trucks. That's all I ever really done. And you can go to Concentra for that.
Just a little drop-in clinic.
Right. So yeah, I had to make an appointment with a doctor. And I found one through my insurance, of course, which is crazy because I had just gotten insurance for the first time in my life in January of 2025. I finally decided to get insurance.
Medical insurance.
Medical insurance, right. Although I thought I was never going to use it, but I got it anyway. So luckily I did. But through my insurance, I found a doctor not too far away from my house. And I went to her, and she went over my medical record from the hospital. And she did blood work that day. And of course, then I went back the next day after they did my blood work. And she went over my labs, and she was like, well, I think I'm going to have to put you on insulin and high blood pressure, because my high blood pressure was out the roof. My blood pressure was high. And so she was like, well, I think I'm gonna have to put you on high blood pressure and insulin. And I said, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't do needles, and I'm not good with prescription medicine because you put me on a pill, I ain't gonna take that pill. I knew I wasn't. And so she said, well, wait a minute, I got one more option for you. And she left out the room, came back in the room, and she handed me a box of Manjaro. And she said, well, here's something I think that might help you. She said, I'm gonna start you off with 2.5. And I told her, hold on, pause. I told you, I'm not good with needles. Like,
Okay.
how often I got to do this? This is a daily shot? And she was like, no, no, no. This is weekly. You're gonna do it every 7 days. And I said, I'm not good with needles. Shots ain't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
My
Mine
father,
either, TT. Mine either.
right? Yeah. I used to watch my father take insulin, so
Okay.
that
Same
was
here,
definitely.
TT. My father was type 2 diabetic. Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
And,
even on insulin, it was his diabetes was not well monitored and
mhm,
not controlled.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and my father has since perished.
Oh, sorry to hear that. So did my father. I want to say it came from the diabetes because
Yes.
he wound up getting diabetes neuropathy
Mm. In the feet.
in
Yes.
the feet, and when they cut his feet off, somehow an infection spread it through his body, and he later deceased. And the same for my mother. My mother was also diabetic, but she wasn't on insulin.
Okay. Okay.
But she passed away from obesity, diabetes, and complications
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
TT. So what I'm hearing from you and your family's history of diabetes and obesity mirror my family's family history of diabetes and obesity. And so for
Mm.
real, this was in fact a matter of life or death for you.
Yes.
TT, were you feeling bad before you had that very scary bout of blurriness as while driving a truck with as much as 80,000 pounds, you know, of truck and cargo on board your truck? Were you
Uh,
feeling bad?
um, I could tell it was something wrong. I wasn't really feeling. I take that back. Yeah, I was feeling bad because I noticed weight loss. I had unexplained weight loss, and I also noticed that I had stopped drinking. Prior
Mhm.
to me going to the hospital and the blurred vision, um, my brother, who lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, he had a party, and usually we are heavy drinkers.
Okay.
Um, for me, I had a couple of drinks, and then I could not drink anymore. And I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was like, something is wrong because I can't drink.
Yes. Yes.
But I didn't know what it was. But I knew something was wrong. So I did feel slightly different than my normal self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Grant's faithful GLP-1 journey. Grant says my father died at 47. Mm-hmm. And
Wow.
also had a type 2 diabetes. And so let's make it clear. Let's make it clear if there are other truck drivers out there, if there are other people who have some of these similar symptoms as TT. One, bouts of blurriness. I mean, your vision is impaired for no reason, suddenly. If you have significant weight loss, but you weren't trying to lose weight. TT says he knew something was wrong because you were urinating frequently as a truck.
Mhm.
So let's lean into that because I know that truck drivers are going to be watching this, or more importantly, family members and friends of truck drivers are going to be watching this. And hey, y'all,
Absolutely.
hey, welcome. This is Coffee and Conversations with TeeTee Trucker. He's an over-the-road truck driver, and y'all, he has lost over 100 pounds on his GLP-1 weight loss journey. TeeTee, thank you for joining me for Coffee and Conversations today. TeeTee, what would you tell someone who's on the fence about losing weight using a GLP-1?
I would tell them, especially if they are a truck driver, to please have routine doctor visits. Make sure your health is up to par,
Yes.
which is something like I said, I lack to do. But it is very important, especially if you are a truck driver, to get your health checked frequently. I had a friend not too long ago. He was also driving to Dallas, Texas. He was stressed. He was having a situation with his wife, and he was in a rush to get home back to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somehow he was literally on the phone with his mom when he had a stroke behind the wheel of the truck and ran into the woods. And when he made contact with trees, the truck went up in flames. So it's very mindful because he had a stroke, like I said. So it's very important to stay on top of things with your health.
Yes.
And I say that because although he, unalive now, it could have been worse had he made contact with any other vehicles on that highway.
Yes. Yes.
It
He
could have
lost
been worse.
and could have, yeah, that could have been. It's already worse. Someone lost their life.
Right.
TeeTee, you mentioned this a little earlier, and you talked about that DOT certification that is required for over the road for truck drivers, okay, who possess that CDL license. And you said, but frankly, most truck drivers probably do what you do, especially if they lack medical insurance. They probably go into a walk-in clinic, pay a standard fee,
Mm-hmm.
and leave with the proper signatures, whatever, in order to renew and get, and to submit and get that certification from DOT, the Department of Transportation. Do you
Right.
would you just, because you said it once, but I think it's so important for you to reiterate that we need to do more than that, as men, as truck drivers. We need to get connected to a primary care physician. Find yourself a primary care physician, one that you trust, who was like TT's doctor, who gave him that first GLP-1 shot right there in their doctor's office. TT, talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah. So with that DOT medical card, it's some clinics don't do they do the very bare minimum. They check, make sure you can see. They check, make sure you ain't got no hernia, squat, cough. They weigh you, and that's it. And you go on, you get your card, you go on about your business.
Mm-hmm.
Some trucking companies, when you go to start with that trucking company and you go through the orientation process, and there's a few of them out there that has their own medical team when you go to that company. Now, and they do a little more than if you was to go into Concentra. Like they're going to do, they're going to test your test to make sure your blood is okay. They're going to do a little bit of blood work. They don't do extensive blood work, but they make sure your sugar levels. They want to make sure you're not diabetic. And if you are diabetic, that your sugar your A1C is below 7. If your A1C is above 7, you cannot drive.
Okay.
Which that was my case. My A1C was 13.1. I could not drive until I got it down below 7.
Normal A1C is, tell us.
Well, a normal A1C
Range.
normal A1C is about 6. To drive, you just can't be above 7. To drive a truck, you can't be above 7.
Okay.
If you are above 7, they may give you a 90-day medical card to get that right at 7. So let's say your A1C is at 9. So if your A1C is at 9, they'll give you a 90-day medical card to drive. But when you come back after that 90 days to recertify that medical card, you gotta be at 7 below. And if you're still not at 7, then you're not going to even, they're not going to renew your medical card. You just can't drive. But it gotta be at 9 to even get that 90 days. Again, I was at 13.1. I could not drive at all. So I had to sit out until I got it down where they said, okay, now we can give you your medical card.
So it is, in fact, a matter of life and death and your livelihood.
Correct. Because, if you're not driving, you ain't making no money. And it's not like as an owner operator, we don't get the option of applying for short-term disability.
Yeah. There's no sick pay. There's no bank of sick pay.
There's no sick pay.
Yeah.
I literally had to go work at Home Depot warehouse for a couple of months.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I had to do because I couldn't drive.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. We have a question coming in from Grant, and I love this question coming from a male. Did you have trouble driving and staying awake before losing over 100 pounds on a GLP-1?
Good question. Actually, no, I didn't. I have more trouble now staying awake than I did before I lost the weight. And maybe it could be because of the GLP-1 medication makes me fatigued. Maybe that's it. Or maybe because, me being honest, maybe because when I was a truck driver, before I lost the weight and got into all this, I would go into the store and grab a bag of potato chips, and me crunching on a bag of potato chips would get me, through where I got to go. Or, crunching on some ice. Stuff like that. As long as I'm crunching, I'm good. Still now, if I'm crunching, I'm good, but I don't eat potato chips and cookies anymore. I would get a bag of chocolate chip cookies and eat that, and that would get me through my route. So maybe I feel it now because I don't eat chips and cookies anymore, that now I'm having a harder time really dealing with me staying awake than I did before I lost the weight.
Understood. And we've got so many friends who are joining us. Special hello to those who are joining us on the vertical stream from their mobile phones, and welcome in to those who are joining us for coffee and conversations. We've got TeeTee Trucker, y'all. He's an over-the-road truck driver, and he's lost over 100 pounds using a GLP-1. Y'all, this is Coffee and Conversations, and Kendi K is enjoying my first cup of coffee today. I wanted to save it for this conversation. And y'all, I'm a GLP-1 user as well. So, and I'm just starting my journey on a GLP-1, taking Zepbound. This is week 18 for me. And today is my injection day. TeeTee, tell us what GLP-1 you are using for those who may not know you, and tell us how long you've been taking it. And to date, tell us how much weight that you have lost.
I am on tirzepatide. According to my insurance, I kind of fluctuate between Mounjaro or Compound or Zepbound. but that fluctuates month to month. Um, what I'm gonna decide to do based on how my money might look. Like if my money look okay, I get Zep bound. If not, then I might have to go down the compound. Luckily though, here lately I haven't purchased any compound because the compound plates that I was dealing with is no longer in production or producing
Mhm.
trizipatide. So I'm rocking it out between Lilly Direct and Monjaro.
Okay. So I'm hearing a couple of names. I am taking Zepbound at this moment. I'm on the 2.5 milligram dose per week. TT has mentioned that previously. And then you also said that you sometimes you take a compounded drug. Can you tell those who might be new or just thinking about taking GLP-1s for medical weight loss? Would you share your understanding of the difference between taking a branded drug like Mounjaro, Ozempic, or Zepbound versus taking a compounded formula? Would you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So with compound, of course, with compound, you get additives. Um, like B12, B6, niacinamide. I don't know if I pronounced that correct.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with compound, it comes in a multi-use vial versus branded. If you get branded Zepbound, as you know, that come in a single-use vial. Um, and usually with the compound, depending on where you may get it from, because compound come from a telehealth company or a telehealth provider, and then they link you to a partner pharmacy. Um, so with that being said, um, the compound is not branded whether you get compound trizipatide or compound semaglutide. It's not the same as your branded Ozempic or your branded Mounjaro. For me, I could tell the difference with compound because actually, this might sound crazy, but I've lost more weight on compound and it's a lot stronger than branded medication.
This is interesting, TT. This is interesting. And I'm sure it is good news for those who are not taking the brand name drugs and medication, I should say. They're not taking the
Mhm.
brand name medication. I am taking the brand name medication, and I'm doing so as a self-pay customer because my insurance, the network of my insurance, does not pay for weight loss medications. And so I pay each month for my month of injections. And y'all, these are very small doses. This is but a 2.5 dose of, actually, this is a new dose. This is a 5 milligram dose because it has a purple top on it. This is my first 5 milligram dose, and I have not dosed that yet, but I wanted you all to see that, what that looks like. It's a very small vial, and you use a syringe and inject that weekly. And tell us a little bit about that because you talked about it, and I was just like you, TT. I was not a person who was, I saw my father using insulin and injecting
Mhm.
insulin. It frankly scared me. And you talked about your doctor giving you your first dose of the medication in their office. What is that like? You giving yourself these doses, and how did you overcome that fear of injecting yourself with medication each week?
Um, Well, before I answer that, I want to
Okay.
go back to a statement that you just said right quick, just right
Okay,
quick.
no problem.
Um, and this is not a correction. I just want everybody to understand. So, Mounjaro, Ozempic, those medications is not actually weight loss medication. The weight loss is actually a side effect of taking the medication. It's actually to treat the disease of diabetes and the disease of obesity that comes with sleep apnea, congested heart failure, other health mobilities that might have an impact, a negative impact on your health. But yeah, weight loss is just the side effect to using these medications. So a lot of people think that that they using this to lose weight, but it's actually to treat the disease that you may have that might cause obesity.
Yes. And thank you for that clarification. But the truth of the matter is, as TeeTee just said, it has one of the biggest side effects. And a side effect it's actually a positive side effect, is that it is going to suppress your appetite. And as a result of that, you're going to lose a significant amount of weight.
Yes,
and when we look at TeeTee Trucker, friends, this guy, TeeTee Trucker, he has lost over 108 pounds as an over-the-road truck driver. TeeTee, tell us what that is like for you to now be living in a much smaller body as an over-the-road truck driver.
Oh my God. It's amazing. At 279 pounds, which is where I was at a year ago, a year from today, what is this? We July, right after July 4th. A year from today, I was 279. Over in Anguilla. I didn't send you pictures, but I took a trip over to Anguilla this year around this time. I mean, last year this time, and I was on the beach, and how I look, how big I was looking, is the words can't explain compared to what I look like now. The way I move around, I can get up and down the truck easy. I can get in between the truck easy. I can actually pre-trip my truck without hurting. And for those of y'all that may not know, truck drivers are required to do a pre-trip inspection on tractor and trailer, which, if you're doing it correctly, you have to get under that trailer to listen for air leaks, check your brake pads, make sure your tandems can slide. There's a lot of things you got to do that means that you have to get under the trailer to check out. And at 279 pounds, I could not do it. I could not do it without hurting or just having to put a blanket down on the ground, just lay down, roll over under the truck. Now I can actually squat down and get under there and pre-trip a truck, which I couldn't do that before. My knees couldn't even hold me to do that.
Yes, because having excess weight on our body affects just, first of all, our overall mental health and wellness. It affects our heart, having excess weight, obesity, morbid obesity, super morbid obesity. All of those things impact all of your other body systems when you have excess weight on your body. Friends, it is a matter of life and death. And that's why TeeTee Trucker and I are using GLP-1s. And right now, just for clarity, have you lost, you said, over 100 pounds, and congratulations, happy anniversary on your weight loss. Just about exactly 1 year ago, you started your weight loss journey. Congratulations, TT.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
so many are in the chat at this moment acknowledging that weight loss. TT Trucker, y'all, he's here with us. We've got friends, we've got viewers joining us on the vertical stream and on the horizontal stream today. All for you, TT. So congratulations on that. And we've got so many other things to congratulate you on. Friends, if you do have any questions for TT Trucker, y'all, he's an over-the-road truck driver. He's an owner-operator. And most importantly, y'all, he has lost a significant amount of weight, over 100 pounds on his weight loss journey, from a type 2 diabetic to someone who now has an A1C of what, TT?
5.1.
And at its highest that was recorded when he started having blurriness that almost took him off the road, y'all. He had an A1C of
13.1.
13.1 to 5.1. That means that A1C is well controlled, thanks in large part to your use of GLP-1s for medically supported weight loss. And friends, when folks, well, let's just look at the transformation because it's just so striking. I want folks to see TT. And before we do that, let's do a hydration check. What are you hydrating on today, TT?
I got my bottle Fiji water.
I love that. I love it. It's Fiji water because if you know TT at all, and y'all, I am subscribed. So don't forget to subscribe to TT Trucker. Y'all, there's a link pinned to the top of the comments on both of our streams today. But it has to be Fiji water because y'all, TT Trucker, y'all, he's into labels, y'all. He's into labels, and friends, he's that guy. So y'all check out TT Trucker. I'm just having good water, and I am using for hydration though, for continued hydration because I am taking a GLP-1 just like TT. I am using the Ultima electrolytes. TT, do you use electrolytes as you hydrate?
Yes, I actually use the Propel packs.
Okay. So similar to these, but
right.
add those electrolytes. I remember that when I started my GLP-1 journey about 17 weeks ago, both my doctor and my dietitian reminded me to continue and to start using. I wasn't using, but to start using electrolytes as I hydrate, because you're going to be eating such a significantly less amount of food, but that you need to make sure you're getting all of the other nutrients that are needed to make sure that all of your blood work. TT, how often do you visit the doctor now? And after losing 100 pounds of weight loss, where are you in your weight loss journey?
Right now the first question, I still visit every 3 months. And I could go to every 6 months, but I still do every 3 months because as a man, I'm 50 years old now. And I've learned so much from watching RMZ, Charles, Round Mound, Zep Bound.
One of my favorites too. Round Mound of Zep Bound, because I'm a Zep Bound user. Go ahead.
He talks about so much about men's health. And so I'd be like, okay, those are questions I need to ask when I go to my doctor. So learning so much from him, I always have more questions to ask my doctor, which keeps my visits still at 3 months apart from each other, at least for right now.
Yes. And I am also visiting my doctor every 3 months. My prescription, my current GLP-1 prescription for Zepbound is written 3 months at a time. And then I self-pay and purchase 4 doses in vial form of that medication. And they come to me in 4 dose packages. And now, if you purchase direct from Eli Lilly, you can have it sent to your local Walmart pharmacy.
Correct.
Or have them sent through the mail. They make it very easy and accessible to self-pay users. And a shout out to Eli Lilly. And now, have you heard anything, TT, about Eli Lilly's newest product for GLP-1 called Foundeo? It is the weight loss pills.
Yeah, I heard about that, but again, I'm not good with pills. I'm not gonna even, and I think that the shot would be more effective than the pill. And we only got to take the shot once a week. So I'm gonna stick to that, to the shot versus the pills. I don't think I ever take the pills.
I was honestly thinking about it again because I'm early in on my weight loss journey, TT, taking the 2.5 milligram dose a week of Zepbound. And because I don't like doing the weekly injections, to be honest, but it is worth it. And I'm committed to
Mhm.
it. And so I was earnestly really thinking about switching over to the daily weight loss pills. And those are daily doses taken by mouth. TT, as far as injections, where do you give yourself the injection?
Only in my stomach area. So ever since I started back October 6th on Monjaro, I've only given all my injections in my stomach. I've never tried my arms or my thighs. It's always been in my stomach.
Mm-hmm. Now, TT, it's interesting that you say that, and welcome in to everyone who is joining us. I'm putting up as many comments as I can because I want TT to see all of the subscribers who are joining us from my channel, from TT's channel, and those who will watch this on the replay. Congratulations and thank you all for joining us for this special coffee and conversations on the anniversary of TT Trucker's 100 plus pound weight loss. Wow. TT, you
Mhm.
look so different to us. This is the only TT that I know because I just got connected with TT Trucker
Right.
because of your YouTube channel. But as we were preparing for this interview, TT sent me so many pictures, a few pictures for us to create some visuals for you today. And I want to
Mhm.
show you what TT Trucker looked like before that. But this comment from Darium, it really drives home that. Congrats to you, TT, on your success as a YouTuber, on your improvements in your men's health, and your new lease on life. Thank you, Darium. I think you covered it all.
Right.
Um,
Thank you, Darian.
yes, and we also have Grant. Grant says he is not a does not inject in his stomach at this moment. Grant too has been on a GLP-1 for just a little bit over a year now, and Grant is now at goal weight. TT, are you at goal weight on your weight loss journey?
Yes, I am. I am at goal weight. Yes, I am. So I am currently in maintenance. However, even in maintenance, I went up. I was at 7.5. I lost all my weight at 5 milligrams, and I went up to 7.5. And I realized that the constipation at 7.5 got worse. So I went up to 10 here recently, and I have not had any more constipation.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, TT, tell us this. You brought up constipation. That is a side effect, just like a
Yes.
weight loss. The weight loss itself is a side effect of the use of the medication. But the constipation, friends, that is something that affects your body in a different way. As you're losing weight, though, you're losing the weight because GLP-1s tend to slow down digestion as your digestive
Mhm.
system. It slows down the digestive system, allowing you to feel fuller longer, and therefore you consume less food. Y'all, that's just Kitty K being Kitty K, putting it in layman's terms for me. We've got so many friends who are joining us at this moment. TT, constipation. How do you deal with that constipation?
Um, I had to, of course, get fiber pills. Um, I had to take stool softeners and kick up my fiber intake. Eating more fiber um, was definitely a must to do. Definitely.
What
It
What are
was
your favorite
hard,
fiber rich foods, TT? Sorry about that.
huh?
I'm sorry about there's a little bit of delay. I've got to account for that. What are your favorite fiber foods to eat when you said you did an uptick in the fiber-rich foods that you eat?
Well, definitely oatmeal. Yeah, I had to get a lot of oatmeal in and vegetables. As you know, cabbage is high in fiber, and collard greens is high in fiber. Spinach is high in fiber. So yeah, those are the things I had to eat um, to get that fiber in. However, even with all of that, I still suffered from the constipation. It helped. Um, it helped a little, but yeah, constipation was definitely a doozy.
Hmm. Do you still struggle with the ongoing constipation because of your continued GLP-1 use?
Well, now that I kicked it up to 10.0, I haven't had it.
Okay. 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 And other things that will help you with the constipation, because that is something as I get into this process, I've just entered a new phase of my life and I'm also 50, TT.
Oh,
Yes, I am 50 and I am taking this GLP-1, still acclimating to all of the things. But I know that when I am more active, moving, getting more steps into my day, working out, just doing more in a day, the constipation subsides, right? Just so
mhm.
movement, in addition to a high fiber diet, the foods that you're eating, plus I use Miralax. I just sprinkle Miralax, this coffee. It's got some protein
Ah,
shake in it. My coffee, I use the Quest 30-gram protein shake as my flavoring in
mhm.
my hot coffee because I still love hot coffee, but I'm boosting it with protein and then I sprinkle some Miralax in it. I sprinkle Miralax
Oh,
on everything. So even with my cabbage, I eat a lot of cabbage. I love collard greens. But friends, if you
me
like
too.
turnip and mustards, go ahead and eat those too. But I sprinkle the Miralax in my oatmeal, TT. I just sprinkle that in
Oh,
everything. I
for
just
real?
sprinkle. I just sprinkle, and that just keeps everything flowing right on through me. Because being constipated is not a good feeling. But how do you handle that over the road as a truck driver? What about because you're drinking so much more water now to stay hydrated? What about
Mhm.
constipation? And what about when you eat poorly? Tell us about that side effect. What happens to you and to most GLP-1 users when they overeat or they eat the wrong things?
Right. Well, fortunately for me, I I don't overeat, which um I'm glad you asked that question because I've never been a heavy eater. Like I've always been a light eater. Um, Prior to me driving trucks, I wasn't even a big guy. I did a video not too long ago, and I shared some pictures of me back how I looked back in 2017 and 2018. I was not as slender as I am now, but I was still a slim guy. So, and I've always been a little skinny guy growing up. So I've never been a heavy eater. Um, so in the truck, I don't really eat a lot. I do drink more water. Um, and because what my cousin would call me a bougie truck driver, because I don't believe in, a lot of truck drivers, this might be TMI, but a lot of truck drivers use the bathroom in their truck. Well, I don't because I feel like this is my space. The truck ain't nothing but
Robert May.
5 by 5. Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
what I'm
Oh,
trying to say. And so I don't want to smell, I so I'm gonna go to a truck stop and go to the restroom, whether it's to do the number one or the number two. I go to the truck stop. I just don't want it in my truck. I don't want to smell it. Um, so that's what I do. I do go to the truck stop, even though I drink more water now, and yeah, it tends to make me have to stop a little more. And luckily for me, I'm not so much over the road like I used to be. I do Atlanta, Miami, Miami back to Atlanta, or Miami to Charlotte back to Atlanta. So it's not so bad because I'm not going all over the place. And now I have a routine since I go to the same place every day. So it's been easier for me now, with what I eat, how I prepare my meals, and my water intake.
Hmm. So you tend to run a dedicated route from Atlanta to Miami and back every
Correct.
week. And what's your
Correct.
work week like as an over the road truck driver and owner operator?
So I start Sunday night, like I will tonight. I start out Sunday night. I go down to Miami. I get there Monday morning with the first load of the week. Um, and usually I try to get, and I do air freight, so it's airport to airport. However, if we don't have no air freight, then we'll jump on the load board and get a customer load. Um, Sometimes coming out of Miami, it's no air freight going coming back up here. So then I have to jump on the load board and get a customer load coming back to Atlanta. But I usually get back to Atlanta by Tuesday morning. I leave Miami Monday night. I usually get back by Tuesday morning, get back, take another 10-hour break. Because of course, um, between each time, each delivery, I take a 10-hour break. So when I get back to Atlanta, I take a 10-hour break, and by Wednesday night, I'm going heading back to Miami.
Got it. Got it. So tell us, what do you talked about no longer eating a bag of cookies on your way from Atlanta down to Miami to drop your load. What do you snack on while you're in the truck, while you're working? And thank you for accommodating us for this coveted interview, TeeTee. Tell us what you're going to snack on in the truck, or do you need to snack?
Uh, I still snack, but only fruit. So I have my grapes with me, watermelon or pineapples. I go to Kroger's, and I'm too lazy to cut the pineapples and all that up. So if you know anything about Kroger's, they have the section right there where you can buy it already cut.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I go in there, I buy my pineapples, my grapes. I do come home and I clean my grapes. I've never been the type to eat the grapes out the bag. Like you see some people eat the grapes while they're going to the cash register. I'm not gonna do that. Because no telling who else gonna have their hands in the bag and all of that. So yeah, I'm actually gonna clean my grapes. Um, Watermelon you can't rinse off, but I do pray over it. But I have my watermelon, my pineapple, and I also have oranges.
Oranges are really good for the absorption of iron, and my doctors and my dietitian have reminded me, because by going to the doctor every 3 months and getting
Mhm.
that blood work, y'all, if you are taking a GLP-1, and friends, even if you're not, we've got to, as people of a particular age, TeeTee is 50 and so am I. It is so important that we have a primary care physician and we partner with them
Absolutely.
as part of our team, y'all. They are there to help us make informed decisions about our health. Gemini Diva agrees. She says routines on this medication is just important. It is just important. And friends, because
It is.
this is where you end up. This is where you can end up. You can end up just like TeeTee Trucker. Y'all look at TeeTee Trucker after over 100 pounds of weight loss. TeeTee, it's almost like you are aging backwards. Do people know who you are, TeeTee, after this significant weight loss? Do you see other truck drivers and they ask you about your weight loss? Do they wonder if you're, quote, sick? But friend, you are aging backwards. You look fabulous.
Thanks. Thank you.
So welcome.
um, that's also another good question. I have gotten a lot of people have asked me, are you sick? Um, And I take that very rudely, because no, I'm not sick.
It is
And
rude. It is rude.
I have to say, why can a person become healthy? Am I supposed to be fat all my life? I mean, why can a person take care of their health and lose the weight? And of course, if you lose weight, things change. Certain things in your body change once you lose the weight. Um, so yeah, I have gotten negative comments, and I have gotten a lot of people be like, wow. For an example, just yesterday, there's a store right down here by my house, and I haven't been in that corner store for a long time. But the owner of the store hadn't saw me since last year when I was big. When I
Uh-huh.
went in there yesterday, and I went in there for a Sprite because I needed something to kind of make me burp.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there yesterday, and he looked at me, and he had to take a double take, and he was like, where all the weight though? What happened?" And so it was so funny. And yeah, I explained to him, why I lost the weight, what I did to lose the weight and everything like that. And he was just like, man, you look great. Like, you look amazing. So
I
yeah, I get some negative comments and some bad comments. Yeah.
yeah, and we take it all in stride because friend TT, take it from me. You are winning. You are winning as because you're taking back your health. You took charge of your health and you have now reached your goal weight. TT, now that you've reached goal weight, and they call that phase of the weight loss journey using a GLP-1, they call that being in maintenance. Being
Mhm.
in maintenance. What's next now that you've reached maintenance? What does TT Trucker do next as far as his health?
Well, seeing as I am in maintenance, I still have um, some belly fat that I want to get rid of. I want the belly fat gone. I want abs. So what's next for me right now is going hard, working on body recomposition. Now, being honest with you guys, I do not work out as much as I used to when I was on the weight loss journey. Like when I was trying to get this weight off, I was working out every day. I might have gave myself 1 day break. Now that I'm in maintenance, I seem to have lost that my momentum to keep working out. I still do, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not every day. I think it's down to like twice a week now, which is not good because I'm not gonna reach my body recomposition goals if I'm only doing it twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I've got to get back into it. Um, but I've been a little bit more busier in the truck than I was when I was going through that journey of losing the weight.
Okay, so as far as working as an over-the-road truck driver, you're doing more runs uh, up and down the nation's highways, and we salute you, TT,
Mhm.
because
Thanks.
our country runs on the backs of these CDL truck drivers who bring us our goods across the country. And thank you. We salute you, and we salute
Mhm.
all truck drivers. TT, when you say working out so that you can work on your midsection and tone that up, and that is a problem area for so many on a GLP-1 or outside of a GLP-1 because of that visceral fat. That's where that visceral fat is stored on our bodies, y'all. If we
Yeah.
we gained that weight, and it's going to take some muscle for us to get rid of and to shrink that visceral fat in our midsections. What does weight training and toning look like as a truck driver? How do you fit that into? Because can you work out while you're driving the truck? What do you do? How do you do it as an over the road truck driver?
So no, you can't work out in your truck per se. Um, Luckily for me, again, it's airport freight. And most airports do have a gym. The one in Miami does. So I do tend to go to the gym. The one here in Atlanta has a gym, but I do have workout equipment here in my house. Um, so I work out here in my house. If I'm down in Miami, I go to the gym. If I do an air freight to Charlotte, they don't have a gym at that airport, but I do have weights in my truck that I do have the dumbbell weights that I practice with, work out with my dumbbells, and do some jogging around the area is what I do when I'm in the truck if I'm somewhere where there's no gym.
Mm-hmm. And TeeTee, that's thank you for sharing that. It's so easy to move your body, friends. You don't have to go to a track. You don't have to, frankly, you don't even have to be donned, and whatever you got on, it will work. It will work.
Mm-hmm.
I had a slow leak in one of my tires just in my car. And so I went over there to the tire place, and y'all, the waiting room was already full. So what did I do? I could have sat in a chair for an hour or so while they fixed my tire. But what I did do was I said, okay, hey, ring me when you're done with my tire on my car. I'm going to be outside moving my body. I'm going to be outside walking and getting my
Right.
steps in, y'all. It's just that simple. We've got a question that came in from the comments, y'all. If you do have any questions for TeeTee Trucker, go ahead and drop those questions now. Question coming in: is it normal while taking a GLP-1 for that weight loss to slow down or to stop? What would you say, TeeTee? Did you experience that?
No, actually, I didn't. I did not experience a slowdown. To be really honest with you guys, I was losing anywhere from 12 to 18 pounds a month.
Wow. Wow.
I was a super responder. But here again, and I was a super responder that was 5.0. But again, I had never took medicine for anything. I've never had to go to the hospital for anything, never had surgery, never been sick. So I guess I would say that first time taking medicine for a health reason, it was very strong for me, and I was a super responder to the Manjaro.
Yeah. And so it's a reminder to all of us that even though we're taking the same medications, you mentioned that you have taken Zepbound before. I am currently taking Zepbound, and
Mhm.
everybody is different. Every
Mhm.
person's anatomy and how their body responds to the medication will be different, depending upon lots of environmental factors, meaning what kind of foods are you eating? Are you eating ultra processed foods that come in packages? Or when you go in the grocery store, are you being intentional like TeeTee to go over and get some cut fruit, salads? Are you able to get these things readily available to you, TeeTee, as an over-the-road truck driver? What do you eat when you're saying you're going out tonight to start your work week as an over-the-road truck driver? What do you
Mhm.
normally eat? You talked a little bit about your snacks, but what do you eat to get that protein in a day?
So I stay very routine because I'm bad with tracking. I know a lot of y'all ladies, y'all track,
I'm
and
too. I'm bad with tracking.
yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I do not count calories. I didn't really count protein, but I knew what I was eating, how much protein it would have, and what I needed to do to get to 100 grams of protein a day, or to get to 30 grams of fiber a day. I knew what to eat to get me there. So once I figured that out, I stayed eating that. So baked chicken, great for protein. If you get you a thigh, a leg, and a wing. I don't care for the white meat, so I really didn't eat the breast, but I will, but I really didn't. But that's what I did. Baked chicken, and then I would cook me either cabbage, collard greens or spinach, either one. I totally cut out carbs. So carbs and bread was totally cut out during my journey. I did not eat any carbs. So it was the chicken or salmon,
Okay.
um, and then it was the spinach, collard greens or cabbage. Or I would eat also boiled eggs in the morning. So this is how my day started out. Boiled eggs in the morning. My lunch was a protein shake. My dinner was the chicken and a vegetable. And that's how I met my protein goals and my fiber goals. Um, I didn't really count how many calories that was per day, but that was my routine. And literally, that's all I ate for my whole journey. And still now, that's what I eat.
Okay, focusing on chicken, and y'all, I'm taking this all into putting it in my mental memory because, friends, I heard from TT. He said high protein, no carbs for TT, and a high fiber diet. And he said it worked for him
Mhm.
to lose over 100 pounds, and he's sticking to it. He is sticking to it. Gemini Diva said, "Hey, the routines that you need to do to maximize weight loss are so important." And
Mhm.
frankly, humans thrive on routines. We know that. When you get up at the same time, TT, as an over the road truck driver, you have your routines for today. You're accommodating us for this interview, but then you're going to leave out probably at the same time each week, generally the same time each week, for you
Right.
to take that first load to start your work week. Thank you
Mhm.
to all those who are joining us for this very important coffee conversations with TT Trucker. Friends, if you have questions about weight loss, if you have questions about being an over the road truck driver, or any questions for TT Trucker, go ahead and drop those questions now. I'm going to give TT an opportunity to take a break and give you an opportunity to hit that like button and to drop your questions for TT Trucker. And I'm going to pay a few bills if you don't mind, TT Trucker. So we're going to give TT a moment to refresh himself while I pay some bills. Thank you all for joining me for Coffee and Conversations with
Okay.
our special guest, TT Trucker. Friends, this episode Coffee and Conversations is brought to you by Pound Cake Experts, featuring 50 gourmet flavors of delicious pound cake. Friends, we love small businesses at Candy K all day. And did you know that Pound Cake Experts offers gluten-free, sugar-free, and even some vegan options? Visit Pound Cake Experts on all social medias. If you'd like to be featured for Coffee and Conversations, it's my interview segment on my channel, Kendi K, all day. Go ahead and point your camera towards my QR code that is on the screen at this moment and sign up. What I really need is your email address and a way to contact you, and I'll get back with you so that we can schedule coffee and a conversations, an interview about you. Friends, you don't have to be a YouTuber. If you've got something worth talking about, I want to hear it and I want to help you to share that with the world. But to be quite honest with you, Kendi K sought TT Trucker out for this interview, and he so kindly obliged me. Thank you for the opportunity to interview you. And friends, if you are interested in becoming a member on my channel, y'all, I invite you to join us as a core crew member. Y'all click on the join button so that you can get all the details. And friends, just like that, we are back. We are back with our special guest, TT Trucker. Thank you, TT Trucker. I told you I had to pay a few bills, TT Trucker.
Oh, that was quick. You paid that while you were still talking.
TT, this is our rapid fire round. These are some lightweight questions just for you to clear your mind. And so we want some more information. Inquiring, I need more coffee. Inquiring minds want to know. We already know that you're 50 and fabulous, but TT, are you dating?
No, I am single. I am a single man with two boys, one 18, one 27. The 18-year-old has a 1-year-old baby, and my 27-year-old has a 5-year-old daughter and I think he is 7 month
Oh.
baby son.
So TT Trucker, y'all, is a grandpa too, and father of boys. And I am a boy mom myself, and my boy, I just have one. Y'all, he turned 21 at the end of June, and I'm super proud of him. Y'all, he is seeking a mechanical engineering, and he is in college. And
Wonderful.
aren't we proud of these young people? But now, so we see. Did you say you're not dating? Are you trying to date, TT Trucker? Inquiring minds want to know.
You know, I've been so wrapped up with working and um trying to get my house together. Now I got my son and um both of them dealing with the baby mama drama. So you know how that is.
Uh-huh.
And I just been, pulled left, right. Then, I've been working out a lot, been on this diet. So not so much really been looking. Maybe after, I reach my body goals, then I start putting myself back on the market and looking.
I understand, TT. That's fair. Latanya says, so glad to see you, TT Trucker, and you are helping truck drivers and so many more. And I would reiterate that statement. So many friends joining us because TT Friends is not just a truck driver. He's not just a father and grandfather, y'all. He is a content creator, y'all. So make sure that you connect with TT Trucker. Make sure you connect with
Yes.
great content creator. And friends, when you do, would you let him know that Kendi K sent you? Y'all, you can look right in the comments and look pinned to the top of the comments is TT's link to get over there to his channel. And again, make sure you let him know that you saw him on this edition of Coffee and Conversations, and let him know that Kendi K sent you. TT, let's kind of shift gears, and we're going to take the few minutes that we have remaining. I want to talk to you and talk about your channel, TeeTee, as a content creator, because you have so many wins, not just wins on your weight loss journey and in improving your health. Those are absolutely the most important wins. But we want to talk about TeeTee as a content creator. And so we're shining the spotlight on TeeTee as a content creator. Look at that smile, y'all. Look at that smile. And that's why, y'all, TeeTee at this moment as a content creator, y'all, he's sitting over on how many subscribers, TeeTee? I don't want to misspeak. How many subscribers at this moment?
I got 3,034 subscribers.
There you got it. There you go, friends. TeeTee has now confirmed over 3,000 subscribers have said yes, including Kendi K all day. And thank you all for joining us for this very, very special edition of Coffee and Conversation. Y'all, Life of VV, that is one of your good friends in these YouTube streets and mine. Content creator VV says, TeeTee, you are our guy. Thank you, TeeTee, for sharing your voice and joining us for this important conversation about weight loss and about being a content creator. Y'all, this is what you're going to see when you get over there with TT Trucker, friends. Yes. This is just a little taste of what you're going to see over there with TT Trucker. Y'all, he's an over-the-road truck driver. And friends, TeeTee, when did you start your channel? And tell us what folks are going to encounter when they get to your channel. What kind of content do you put out on that channel?
Okay, so I actually started my channel back in 2019. I started driving trucks in 2018, May to be exact. 2018 is when I got back in a truck. I started back driving trucks in 2018. I've driven trucks back in 1996, 95, 96, and 97. I've driven trucks, and then I stopped and I came back into it in 2018. And so I created my channel in 2019. And of course, all my content was based on trucking companies. And the reason why I started it was because when I was looking for a truck company to go with, I came to YouTube and I was typing in all the trucking companies that I saw online, and I wanted to hear what everybody, experience was with the trucking companies before I decided to go with that trucking company. And then of course I did, and maybe my experience wasn't the same as the content creator that I watched on YouTube. So it prompted me to then make my videos about whatever trucking company I was currently driving for at that time. And so yeah, all my content is about trucking. I knew nothing about monetization, nothing about watch time hours viewed. It was specifically me getting on there and just talking about my experience with that particular truck company. I didn't know anything about really being a content creator. And I kicked myself in the behind now because the views that I was getting on my trucking content can't compare to what little bit of views I get on my GLP-1 content.
Why are you, wait a minute, stop the presses. Why are you kicking yourself? Because you did what?
I didn't know. I wish I had known about what I could have accomplished on YouTube. I did not know. I was probably making, and I think I was telling Twan yesterday, I was like, in 2025, I only made 6 videos. In 2024, I had only made maybe 8 videos. So that's less than 1 video a month. But again, I didn't know, but I look back at the views. Oh, I got so many views on each video that I made about trucking. And actually I was already at 5,000 watch time hours.
Okay. Now, until monetization, the watch time hours from your long form videos and your live streams, y'all, until you reach monetization, you have to reach monetization within 365 days, or you begin to lose those watch hours day by day in the order that you gain them. TeeTee, quick question. Do those videos that you created back in 2018 up until 2025 as solely a trucking channel content, do you still have those videos, and are they connected to this channel, TeeTee Trucker?
Yes, there's this channel right here.
Okay, so no harm and no foul. That content still remains. And friends, TeeTee, you have so many things. You are, when I tell you, you are winning the TeeTee Trucker, you are winning. And you're winning on your health. You have reclaimed your health, and that's the most important thing. But you're also winning out here in these YouTube streets. And by winning, friends, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all, TeeTee Trucker has had a viral moment, friends. Take a look at that. 13,000 views and counting. 13,000 views and counting. Friends, I have been monetized for, come next month, I will be a fully monetized content creator for 1 full year. TeeTee, you just reached initial monetization, but and I have to know that it is in part because of the 13,000 views you got on some non-trucking content. Tell us a little bit more about your viral moment, TeeTee. Go ahead.
Yes, that was a viral moment. I talked about an order that I did from Shein. as you remember, me and Twan was going to Jamaica, and so she had did a clothing haul, and she purchased a lot of stuff from Shein that she was taking with her to Jamaica. I had never ordered anything from Shein or Temu, never. And so I thought, oh, well, let me go on there and see. And so that's what I did. I was went online and was looking. I was like, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. And then the prices, $7 here, $10 there. I was like, oh, rack up. Man, candy cane. I bought all this nice stuff. And when it got here, I was so disappointed. Oh my God, I was so disappointed. I had to make a video. I had to talk about it. It was Polly and Esther. Polly and Esther. And I say Polly and Esther instead of polyester. I say Polly and Esther, them twins. I was so disappointed because I don't wear polyester.
Yeah.
I literally do not wear polyester because it holds odor. I don't like the way it feels. And then polyester stinks.
Yes. And y'all, do you see what I mean? Now you see about his Fiji water. He tells you he doesn't wear polyester. Okay. And all of that clothing came in with poly on it and stuff together on it. And you're absolutely right. Y'all, cotton is best. As a woman at 50, I know for real that I'm looking for everything. I'm looking at the fabric, and I hope that fabric is cotton because it's real airy and real breathing. And everyone is talking to you. We're talking that content creator talk at this moment. And y'all, thank you. Go ahead and drop your questions now. Life of Vivi is applauding you as so many others. Gemini Diva is onto something. Did y'all hear TeeTee and how he told that story? Y'all, if you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to become a monetized YouTuber, y'all, you just need a little bit of personality. But y'all, TeeTee, y'all, his personality, y'all, it's off the charts. It is off the charts. And y'all, you got to click in and you have got to see that viral video coming in from TeeTee Trucker, where he's talking about Polly and Esther. And y'all, we have all saw all on TikTok Shop and Shein and Temu. Y'all, we've all saw this clothing and we're like, okay, well, TeeTee gave his honest review of it, and it happened to be amazing. And y'all, if you use the link pinned to the top of the videos on the horizontal stream and on the vertical stream, y'all, it's going to take you right to TeeTee's viral video. So y'all, you can, once you get over there, you can hit the subscribe button on TeeTee's side of the house. And friends, I want you all to see what a viral video looks like. TeeTee, did you have any idea that this video was going to take off like it did?
No, I did not. I was shocked. I got so many comments on that video, so many text messages. I did not know it was going to take off like that. I got a lot of subscribers off that video, a lot. But I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. Maybe I need to do more Temu and Shein videos.
TeeTee, you've got a big personality, and you drive a big you drive a big 18-wheeler, and friends, and so everything about you is big. It's big, and I see that you're going to have such congratulations on reaching that first level of monetization. Y'all, to become an initially monetized creator, you simply need 500 subscribers and 3,000 documented watch hours on your long form videos and your live streams within the last 365 days.
Absolutely.
TeeTee Trucker now has over 3,000 subscribers. And y'all, he's trying to get to full monetization at this moment. Once you get to initial monetization, y'all, the algorithm is in fact working in your favor. The algorithm is responding to you
Yes.
and the traction that you have amassed on your channel. And y'all, let's give TeeTee a boost in the algorithm. Thank you for liking this stream and then clicking the link, because every time you engage with a content creator on their content by hitting the subscribe button, being intentional to hit the like button, and friends, clicking TeeTee's link that's pinned to the top of this chat, y'all, I want you to get connected to TeeTee Trucker. Friends, he is a content creator, y'all. We're any content creator with fewer than 500,000 subscribers is considered by YouTube to be a small content creator. And so, friends, we want to push TeeTee out wider into the YouTube algorithm. And y'all, at this moment, because the supercomputers are watching TV, are watching TeeTee, and we are too. Y'all, don't forget to let him know that Kendi K sent you and that you saw him over here for coffee and a conversation with Kendi K all day. If you're a YouTuber, y'all, here is your opportunity to connect with a small YouTuber on the move. Y'all, we are better together. We are all small content creators, but y'all, we're going to get all these channels to full monetization. And can I tell you, as a content creator, y'all, who is getting a YouTube check, friends, every month, and every one of my YouTube checks, TeeTee, has been larger than the last. So when you talk about once you're able to turn on ads and you get commercials attached to that, those viral videos, oh my goodness, I can't wait for you to share with us what those YouTube checks are going to look like for you. But as an initially monetized content creator, TeeTee, what you decide. If you want to do these things, you can turn on memberships or not. And what have you decided on, or what do you think about with memberships? I have memberships on my channel, and if you're interested, don't forget to click the join button so you can get all the details. Are you going to offer memberships on your channel at this moment, TeeTee Trucker?
No, I'm not going to do memberships at the moment. I think that you could still do super chats. But no, I'm not going to turn on the membership at this moment. I'm going to wait until I do something different with my content and maybe something that would justify why I have a membership.
Okay. And friends, TeeTee is talking that real talk, that these are the decisions that you're going to have to make once you reach initial monetization. And friends, when I reached initial monetization in July of 2025, I did not offer memberships on my channel. I did not want any barriers for folks to be able to connect with Kendi K all day. And it sounds like, TeeTee, you are thinking the same way as well. But if you change your mind, all you do is you go down into your settings under the Earn tab and you toggle it on, and you move it from left to right, and it's going to go to green. And that's just like that. Memberships are turned on, and you decide how much you want to charge for memberships. You can have memberships at one level or as many levels as you want. And yes, you make those decisions as a content creator about whether or not you want to offer super chats and super stickers on your channel. TeeTee, do you intend to offer super chats and super stickers, which are ways for viewers and subscribers to applaud you and say, job well done? Do you intend to offer those?
Yes, I am. Yes, I will.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We are so happy to hear that. And we look forward to those things coming out from TeeTee Trucker. Again, as a content creator, friends, it is your channel. It is your, quote, small business as a YouTuber, as a small YouTuber in these YouTube streets. You get to make those decisions. You can toggle them on and you can toggle them off. And friends, it really helps you as a small YouTuber, especially at the initial level of monetization, when you have those memberships, if you choose to offer them, and when you have those super chats and super stickers, because that is the revenue that you will have initially until you move up to full monetization, where commercials or ads will roll on all of your monetized content. And friends, that is the way that you can gain revenue. And that initial monetization was not always available to new and small YouTubers. There used to be one level of monetization and it was full monetization. And so I am so grateful. And I became initially monetized July of 2025. And TeeTee, when I say that the algorithm will be working in your favor, and it is in fact churning in your favor. And how do we know that, friends? Because TeeTee had this viral moment with 13,000 views on this video and counting. Y'all, you've got to watch it. First of all, it is hilarious. It is quintessential TeeTee trucker. Y'all, make sure that you check it out. Use the link at the top of the comments in both of the horizontal stream and in the vertical stream. And when you get there, friends, let him know that Kendi K sent you. Y'all, friends, if you have any questions for TeeTee Trucker as a content creator, TeeTee Trucker as a truck driver, or just TeeTee as a father, as a grandfather, y'all drop those questions in the chat at this moment. And friends, we just got 2 minutes. We're on a 2-minute clock now because TeeTee, y'all, he's ready to start his work week as an over-the-road truck driver. TeeTee, final thoughts for us. What can we look for next on your channel? Do you have any content coming up for us? Are you working on anything behind the scenes?
I am working on some more content. And of course, as you guys know, I try to keep everything very honest, for one, very honest. But I look forward to make it more comical. I want to make my audience laugh. So look for, it to be more comedian, on a comedian level, content with my videos in my lives. Some may be a little serious, but not all. Most of it's going to be geared towards making people laugh, because laughter is the best medicine next to Ozempic, next to Mounjaro. Laughter is the best medicine. So that's what you can look forward to. I want to make people laugh. And I would like to also build a platform, not so much to where I'm going to just be making money from YouTube, but I want to give back to the community, especially to those who need these medications that can't get it. A lot of people don't have insurance. And the people that do have insurance, they probably paying all this money for insurance, and then they come to find out that their insurance don't cover these medications. So I would love to look forward in the future of building a platform to help people out financially that can afford to get these medications.
TeeTee, thank you for mentioning that. And I hear a servant's heart. You have a servant's heart. And healthcare is so expensive with or without insurance. And especially for those who are on a weight loss journey and are self-pay customers like myself. Speaking of fiber, y'all, this is part of my way, my natural way to put more fiber into my diet to help my digestion on my weight loss journey. A prune a day will keep everything, and I do mean everything, flowing in the right way. So try to add these, and they even, Sunsweet, those good friends at Sunsweet, they even sell them in individual packages. So check those out. They're called Wands. Friends, we want to thank you, TeeTee Trucker. Want to give you time to refresh yourself as you get on the road this evening. Y'all, thank you all for joining us for this edition of Coffee and Conversations with our guy, y'all, with TeeTee Trucker. What I say? Let me tell you about Kendi K. Here's what I say. Let me tell you about Kendi K. Everybody, lend me an ear so I can tell y'all about this.